I was born and raised right here in San Diego, and honestly, I love where I live right now, and I'm not in any rush to move, but if I was starting fresh or entering a different stage of life, there would definitely be some different neighborhoods I'd be considering. Hey, my name is Nick, and I'm a top 3% real estate advisor here in San Diego, and in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down some of the best areas to live depending on your lifestyle. So whether you're a young professional, growing a family, looking for space, or downsizing, this is the same advice I'd give to a close friend. And these aren't just trendy or affordable areas. These are areas that are actually fit what you're looking for. Let's get into it. So let's talk a little bit about where I live now and what's changed. I live in North County, San Diego in Oceanside, and I genuinely still love it. It's walkable, it's close to the beach, it's full of character, and it's much more affordable than some of the more hyped up coastal spots. And honestly, I've lived all over North County, San Diego, and I've been in Oceanside for about 6 years, and there's a lot of things like I just named that really drew us here. Just the surf town feel and access to a ton of different great restaurants. We have a ton of organic and local markets close by, which me and my lady actually value a lot. So these are things that just kind of drew us here just right off the bat. And that balance between community and lifestyle is literally the perfect mix for us. And although we don't have all of our friends and family directly in Oceanside, we have that close by. For example, my mom lives over in San Marcos. That's only a 20-minute drive away. A lot of our friends do live in Oceanside, and we've met some great people that have become close friends to us that live directly in the community. But a lot of our friends don't live in Oceanside. They live 20, 30, 40 minutes away from us somewhere else in San Diego. And one thing that's really interesting to me is to see how far Oceanside has come and how much it's evolved over the past 6 years of me living here. I've grown up in North County, so I've seen this place change over the course of 30 years, but just in the past 6 years is absolutely bonkers the value that's come here, just when it comes to real estate prices going up and just the community and how things have changed. There's so many top chefs that have opened up restaurants here in the past couple years. We have 2 gorgeous new hotels right there at the pier, so it's really become more of a tourist destination and put Oceanside a lot more on the map. And although there is a ton of positives here in Oceanside, like the great coastal weather, you're gonna have a really amazing vibe and a cool culture over here, along with the improvements happening in downtown. This is all great, but there is some negatives. Like the schools, especially the public schools, can really be hit or miss depending on the neighborhood that you end up choosing. And some of these areas are going to feel very transitional. So you can be in a very nice A-class, B-class neighborhood like Fire Mountain and take a 5 to 10 minute drive and be in more of a D-class neighborhood and be like, where am I? What happened there? So it's just important stuff to keep in mind. And obviously, as we think about having a family of our own, schools start to become important. We want more space, and we just have more of those long-term priorities. So for now, we are not considering moving anywhere else, but as things start to evolve, we might start asking ourselves a few more questions. So let's say I was just moving to San Diego and I was a young professional and I really wanted to have energy. I wanted walkability. I want to have fun. I want to meet people. Here's a couple of my go-to picks. The first one being North Park, which is going to be located in central San Diego, and it's so accessible down here. It's literally a place that you honestly don't even need a car. If you have a bike or an e-bike, that's a huge bonus, but you literally can get around so easy. And this is going to be one of those areas that's just so trendy. There's a ton of energy. The vibe here is just so positive, and it's great for basically young professionals and people that are just young at heart. Maybe you're a foodie and you like to try different restaurants. You have so many hip restaurants, new ones that are always popping up. If you like to go out there and have a beer, there's so many craft breweries. The craft cocktail scene out here is next level as well. It does get a little pricey, but even if you're not into that stuff, you have a ton of just trendy boutiques down here. You're gonna have the North Park Observatory. If you like to go see shows, this is an awesome venue. And maybe you're not into spending a lot of money and going and trying different restaurants all the time or grabbing a beer or drinks. That's okay. If you are into health and fitness, you will find your tribe in an area like North Park. Go join a run club. That's the biggest tip I can give you. You're gonna meet people that are into the same stuff as you, and it's just gonna be a great vibe and a great place to spend your young professional days. Another one is going to be downtown San Diego, and obviously any downtown, especially San Diego, it's poppin'. You're gonna have everything from high-rise buildings with some really cool lofts. You're gonna have rooftop pools, Padres games. If you live in San Diego, you're gonna become a Padres fan, and Petco Park is literally just right there. You're gonna have restaurants galore. You're gonna have nightlife all over the place, and it's definitely a place you can literally walk and do all this. You can go to a Padres game, you can go grab a beer after, you can go grab a bite before, whatever you want to do, and the energy down here is a lot different than a lot of other places here in San Diego. Another pick I have to mention is going to be Pacific Beach, which nobody calls it Pacific Beach, it's PB for short, but this is a place that has so much energy. If you're looking for a coastal town, this is it. I feel like you have to live here in your 20s or your early 30s, and if you're retiring, Pacific Beach probably isn't the best bet for you, just because it's the total opposite of relaxing. There is just a huge surf vibe over here. It's the type of place you get up, you had a few drinks the night before, you go grab a smoothie, and you go jump in the ocean. vacation. It's like the best cure for the hangover. And I'm not in that phase of my life anymore, but that's kind of a fun thing to do when you're in your 20s or your early 30s. So Pacific Beach or PB could be a good spot for you, especially if you like beach volleyball, walking the boardwalk, having access to just miles of shops, bars, and restaurants right at your fingertip, and all of it's very walkable. This is going to be a great location. So those are just a few areas where you're almost guaranteed to meet people super fast. It has a very strong lifestyle scene, and you're not tied down, which is great. So it's going to be awesome for, you know, remote work or early career setups. And guys, I can't tell you how many clients we've helped move here from out of state that had no idea where to begin. San Diego has so many neighborhoods that look exactly the same online, but once you get out there in person, it's completely different. And that's where we come in. Being a born and raised San Diegan, I know the nuances between La Jolla and Encinitas and even other areas like Escondido and Vista. And even though they're really close to each other, they're completely different. So if you're planning to move here to San Diego, let's talk. We'll figure out the best match for your lifestyle, your budget, and your goals. Now, let's say you're a dink. You have a little bit more income, no kids yet, and you're really looking for comfort, lifestyle, and convenience. And since you're not necessarily worried about schools or space yet, it's really all about that lifestyle and living next to things that really make you happy. The first pick is going to be Encinitas, which I want to start by saying Encinitas has one of the best public school systems in San Diego, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about that dink lifestyle. And this has one of the coolest vibes, in my opinion, in all of San Diego County. It's a little upscale and luxe. It has a very coastal beach vibe, and it's overall just so laid back. You have a ton of boutique shops. You're going to have yoga studios, amazing sunsets, and the food over here is off the chain. If you really value date nights, well, no matter where you live in San Diego, you're probably going to head up to Encinitas because there's just miles of shops, bars, and restaurants. And it's the type of place where you're probably on your day off or even before work or after work, you're probably going to hit the beach and take a dip. You're going to go for a run. It just has this very healthy lifestyle. Claremont is another great area to look into, especially in Bayho and Bay Park. Some of these neighborhoods offer some insane views of Mission Bay all the way to the Pacific Ocean, and it's very centrally located. This is the best part because you can go to a lot of these other towns that I'm going to talk about or that I've already talked about really fast. You can get to downtown San Diego in 10 minutes. You can get to the airport in 10 minutes. Mission Valley is literally a 5-minute drive. You can start your day by walking around the bay down there. You can grab a coffee at this really cool coffee shop down there. It's just a really cool lifestyle, and it offers so many different things. You can even get to the beach in 10 minutes. So there's a lot of opportunity, especially when it comes to homes over here. I think it's a great place to buy something and just watch your investment grow. And as a dink myself, I gotta include where I currently live, which is gonna be Oceanside. You heard me talk about all the great things, and it's no longer just up and coming because it already came up. It's very walkable. You have great restaurants, beach access, and plus there's a ton of unique homes over here that still will be an awesome investment. All right, so now let's get into stability, schools, and just more of day-to-day ease. These are places I would live if I was raising kids. First one being San Marcos, which is an area very well known for being very community-driven, clean, and safe. And this is hands down one of the best values when it comes to home prices and the public schools you're gonna get. How do I know that? Well, I sell homes all over San Diego County, and San Marcos always continues to impress me on just what you can get for the value there. Now, as a person that actually went to high school all 4 years there, I've seen this place grow a lot, but it has a very clean, consistent feel that people seem to love. There's a ton of master plan communities where you're gonna have everything from schools to parks and just that suburban life where shopping accessibility is very close by. And I hear people say that San Marcos sometimes feels like it's too far inland, although it is only 25 minutes from the beach. Even yesterday, I was talking to my mom on the phone. She lives in San Marcos, and she's like, hey, I'm in Solana Beach. I e-biked over here. I was like, you e-biked there? Good for you. So that just goes to show you how close it is to have those coastal amenities while getting a really good value. Carlsbad is another area that I'd really look into if I was raising a family, although it is a little bit pricier than areas like San Marcos. This is another area that's very community driven. It's very easy to meet like-minded people, other families that have the same values, and just get out there and have a good time. And Carlsbad Unified School District is one of the top rated school districts here in all of San Diego County. So you're gonna get some really amazing schools over here, no matter if you're looking for high school or middle school, elementary school. All of your options are gonna be pretty darn top notch. Not to mention a lot of the communities and the neighborhoods here have a lot of coastal charm. They're very clean cut, consistent. You're gonna have playgrounds, trails, cul-de-sacs all throughout Carlsbad. Another one is gonna be University City, and this is kind of a sneaky pick. It's more of a hidden gem, and it's actually really cool because it's really safe, it's highly livable, and you're gonna have access to some really good top schools here in San Diego. And again, it's a place not many people look into, and the location is on point. It's very central. It's right outside of La Jolla, just north of Claremont, so it gives you some really good accessibility along with those great schools. All right, so let's say I wanted a bigger yard, but maybe some more space for things like a guest house or a workshop or just a little more privacy in general. These are some areas I'd pick if I wanted more space. The first one being Vista. A ton of value over here right now going on, but it's gonna have that mix of funky older homes that have land and newer builds as well on larger lots. So it's got a really cool artistic vibe, especially the downtown Vista area is really gentrifying. It's changing so fast with developments and just becoming put more and more every day on the map. And especially if you're really drawn to an area that just feels more established, you know, the windy roads with the big mature trees, all with literally being 30 minutes from the beach, Vista's gonna be awesome. And even just recently, we found an insane deal for one of our clients who was looking for a single family home on just about an acre where he could build a guest house. He wanted to have space, and guess what? We found that for under $1 million. So it is very doable in places like Vista. Another area to look into is Fallbrook. It feels very rural, but it's so peaceful. And again, you're only 30 to 40 minutes from the beach and just a plethora of things to do. But it's one of those areas, once you drive around, it's nothing but avocado groves, wineries, and just tons of open space. It really is a slower pace of life where there is a ton of value for those bigger lots. And especially when it comes to the homes over here in Fallbrook, I feel like every home tells its own story. They all have so much character and charm, and they're all completely different than the next one. So it's very special, especially if you're looking for that slower pace of life, or maybe you want a house with a pool with views and it's 3,000 square feet. You will have so many different options over here. And let's say you want even more good value, space, mountain views, close to accessibility. Escondido is going to be one you don't want to sleep on. It's great if you really want more land without giving up a lot of those city needs and getting to the grocery store fast. It's all right at your fingertips, and some of the homes out here are gorgeous. Whether it has views of Lake Hodges, or maybe you're over there in East Canyon, you have so many great options, different styles of homes at still a great value. Now, let's pretend the kids are all grown up, they're out of the house, and I'm an empty nester. These are some areas that I'd recommend, especially for walkability, views, and just overall low maintenance living. Rancho Bernardo being the first one, which is going to be very peaceful. It's very well kept, and you have a variety when it comes to strong 55 and up communities. And not everybody, when they're empty nesters, wants to be in a community like that, but I feel like for having a sense of community, meeting new people, going to the rec center, having activities, this is going to be hands down a great location. You're going to have some really great options to be outside and be active, especially if you like pickleball, or you also have a couple golf courses as well. And especially the accessibility here in Rancho Bernardo makes day-to-day life very easy. You got shopping close by. You can hop on Interstate 15 if you have to head to the doctor or the hospital, and it's just low maintenance living, kind of at its finest. And there's a ton of single story homes here in Rancho Bernardo, which is awesome. It's very hard to find here in San Diego. So I feel like as we get older, having less stairs, Rancho Bernardo is going to be a good spot. Now, if you're looking for more of a sophisticated coastal living, well, let's talk about Del Mar, because there's really nothing like it. It is going to be one of the more pricey options, but if you have the funds for this, this is going to be a very unique lifestyle. You're going to have great food. You're going to have ocean views. You're going to have beach life. You're going to have an awesome downtown area. The options for retirees over here are just amazing too, because you do have townhome, condo options, or if you got that bigger budget, you can find some beautiful single family views where you literally never have to leave your house because those views are just jaw-dropping. Another one is Coronado. This place is literally like a postcard. It's charming, it's clean, and it's one of the safest and most walkable communities in the entire San Diego County. And I really feel like this phase of life is really about beauty, comfort, and safety overall. And if you haven't been to Coronado Village, which is a downtown area, it is a great time. You also have some really cool high-rise buildings like Coronado Shores, where you got epic views right from your loft, and you can just walk outside and be directly in the sand. And also, if you want to switch things up and go head to downtown, well, hop on the ferry, go to the terminal, and you can literally take the ferry from Coronado over to downtown San Diego and just come back and sleep in your own bed. And you have the Shark Coronado, which is amazing for all your hospital needs. So whether you're relocating to San Diego or you're just trying to plan your next move within it, the hardest part is matching your lifestyle to the right neighborhood. So give me a call or shoot me a message. I'll help you weigh the options. We'll talk about some of the trade-offs, and we'll figure out which area is going to be right for your next chapter. And I also have another video right here that has a deeper dive and will give you some better insight.